Hi everyone, welcome to the CodeQueryHub. In this video, let's understand how the SQL SELECT query works from basic to advanced clauses. So let's check the first part, that is basic select query syntax. So we all know the basic query, that is select star from table name. This we have already learned in our previous videos. So we have created the customer DB in our previous video. We are having these tables in it, customer and orders. Take one of these table. And to execute it, let's make the database active. And now select it and execute it. So this is our data. So this is the most basic select query in SQL. Select all means fetch all the columns from specific table, that is customer here. So this query displays all the data from the table. Now let's move forward to the next part, that is advanced select query. So we are having various clauses in it. Let's understand one by one. First one is select. In our second video of the SQL series, we have understood how to write the select syntax. So yeah, we can write the select query in 4 different ways. So first one is select star from table name, which means fetch all the columns from the table. And the second one is if we want to select any particular number of columns, so we are having the syntax select column 1, column 2 from table names. And we are having these 2 ways also. Select table name dot column name. And in this way, we can select some or all columns from a particular table. And also we can write the select query with the help of alias, that is a temporary name. So you can go and watch the previous video and come back. It will help you a lot. So now let's stick to the advanced select query syntax. So select will help you what you want to display in the output. So you can write it as what you want to display in the output. Next is from. We have already seen that from is used to fetch the data from a particular table. So we can see to fetch the data. And the next clause is where. So where is basically used to filter the rows based on certain conditions, or we can say on the raw data. Let's write it as first. To filter the non-aggregated data, or we can say the raw data. Yes. Suppose we want to see the details of Sita only. So how can we identify the record of Sita? With the help of unique identifier, that is customer ID. So let's write it as select star from table name is customer. And now write it condition where cust ID equal to 103. And if we execute this command, we can see we have filtered out the details of Sita. So in this way, where clause helps us to filter the data. Now, let's move on to the next clause, that is group by. Group by is used to basically summarize the data. For example, if we want to calculate the total sum or averages, let's write it as summarize the data. Example, when we are calculating the totals or averages, etc. Okay. Let's understand this concept. Suppose we are having this data of company and its corresponding sales. So we are having the company and sales as sales of A, sales of B, C, and again A. Suppose if we want to calculate the total sum of total sales of companies, so how we will do it? So you can see on the right hand side, we are having the companies and their corresponding total sales. So how we will approach this problem? First, we have to remove the duplicates from here, and we can write the unique companies, and then we can sum up the sales here. So in this way, we can have the group by. So group by in SQL will help you to summarize the data. Okay, so this we will understand in SQL when we learned about the aggregate functions. Now, next clause is having. So the having clause is used to filter on the aggregated data. So we have seen the example of aggregated data, like we have summed this data. So we cannot filter it with the help of where clause. To filter the aggregated, or we can see the summarized data. You will understand more when we learn the functions. And the next clause is order by. So order by is used to sort the data in ascending or descending order. So we can say to sort the data in ascending or descending order. So let's take an example of the table again from customer. First, just select it and execute this query. Suppose we want this data in the ascending order of their ages. So how to do it? We can write it order by age. By default, the order by clause sorts the data in ascending order. But if you want to have the data in descending order, you have to write it as DESC. First, let's check. If you do not mention anything, then how it works? You can see the data is sorted in the ascending order. And now, if you want to sort the data in descending order, you have to write it as DESC and execute it. Now you can see that the data is sorted in the descending order of the age. So here you can write it as ascending order of age, and here the data is in descending order of age. So in this way, you can write the select query. So this is the sequence to write the select query. Like first you will write select, then from, then where, then group by, then having, and then order by. In this way, you can write the. Now let's understand one more important topic, that is order of execution in the backend. So although we write the select query in a certain order, so SQL execute in a different way, like first from, then where, followed by group by, having, and after that select, and finally order by. So this execution order is very important to understand how the SQL actually works internally. Okay, so let's understand. So let's write it so that you can get it more. So order of execution in the backend. So first, it will execute the from clause and then where, then group by, then having, then select, and then order by. So in the backend, in this manner, it will execute the SQL queries. Okay. Now let's understand one more simple rule of subsetting and filtering in SQL. So basically, subsetting means selecting only few columns to display, and filtering means selecting only few records to display. Like for example, let's write it as subsetting, and we use the select command to select columns. It is full for columns, and the filtering is applicable for rows, and we do the filtering with the help of where clause or having clause. Okay, so we can write as selecting only few columns for the display, and in filtering we are selecting only few records or rows for the display. So we have already seen the example of that where condition. So we are filtering out and selecting only few records. So this is the case of filtering, and suppose we are selecting only few. Let's execute this query. And now let's select only some columns like customer name and age. So yes, we are selecting only few columns. So this is the case of subsetting, and this is the case of filtering. So this is the small but very useful concept. So that's it for today. If this explanation helped you understand the select queries clearly, so please like, share, and subscribe to Code Query Hub, and keep watching this channel. Thank you.